Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to take a deep dive into the life and career of one of bodybuilding's most fascinating figures. A man often described as having one of the most perfect physiques the sport has ever seen. A man whose story is filled with triumph, setbacks, and a resilience that still inspires countless athletes around the world. But as always, I'm not going to tell you who he is just yet. Throughout this episode, I'll give you facts, stories, and glimpses into his journey. Your job is to piece it together. Who is this mystery bodybuilder? Stick around until the end, and we'll reveal the name behind the legend. Our story begins far away from the glamorous lights of the Olympia stage. This man grew up in Fresno, California. His family didn't have much, and he often went without things most kids took for granted. But the struggles weren't just financial. School was a battlefield. Dyslexia made reading and learning extremely difficult. Teachers and classmates sometimes mistook his learning challenges for laziness or worse, stupidity. But that wasn't the case at all. He wasn't lazy, and he certainly wasn't stupid. He simply thought differently. And that mindset, thinking differently, would eventually set him apart in bodybuilding as well. Before he ever picked up a weight, he found another outlet: martial arts. He poured himself into karate, and in those disciplines, he learned structure, discipline, and focus. Skills that would later fuel his bodybuilding career. At that time, though, he never imagined that he would become a legend on the stage. If you asked him, he probably would have told you he'd become a fighter, maybe even a professional one. But destiny had other plans. As a teenager, he stepped into a gym for the first time. And immediately, something was different. He didn't just like lifting weights. He didn't just enjoy the pump. His body responded in ways that stunned even the people around him. Most of us know what it's like to work hard for months just to add a little size. Not this man. After only a short time of training, his muscles seemed to flow into perfect balance. He had wide shoulders, a small waist, and muscle bellies that looked like they'd been carved by a sculptor. Symmetry, proportions, and aesthetics, all seemingly gifted to him by nature. The judges would later whisper that they had never seen genetics like this before. And one man in particular, Arnold Schwarzenegger himself, would publicly say this bodybuilder was one of the greatest physical talents he had ever laid eyes on. That's how good he was. Now we move into the early 1990s. Our mystery athlete starts competing seriously, and the results are undeniable. He steps on stage, and immediately people are buzzing. By 1993, he captures one of the most prestigious titles in the sport, the Arnold Classic. And it wasn't just a win, it was dominance. The fans knew it. The judges knew it. Even his rivals knew it. This man was something special. And he didn't just stop at one Arnold Classic. Over the years, he would collect 4 of them, making him one of the most decorated champions in that event's history. But if you're a bodybuilding fan, you know what the big question is. Can you win the Olympia? Can you stand on that stage against the greatest in the world and walk away with the sando? That's where things get complicated. Throughout the 1990s, this bodybuilder was considered a front-runner for the Olympia title. Many fans felt he deserved it at least once, maybe even more than once. But his era was one of the toughest. He was battling against names like Dorian Yates, Shawn Ray, and later Ronnie Coleman. He would bring incredible packages to the stage, razor-thin waistlines, round muscle bellies, a flow and symmetry that looked like a work of art. But time and again, the title slipped away. Politics, judging criteria, or simply being overshadowed by mass monsters of the day meant he never quite captured that elusive crown. Fans cried foul. They argued that his physique represented the essence of bodybuilding, the very balance of aesthetics and mass that the sport was supposed to celebrate. Yet the sando never found its way into his hands. Now here's where the story takes a darker turn. Behind the scenes, this man was fighting battles most fans never knew about. Health problems began to surface. He was diagnosed with a hereditary kidney disease, focal segmental glomerulosclerosis. This wasn't just a minor issue. This was life-threatening. Competing at the top level of bodybuilding with a condition like that was nothing short of heroic. And yet he kept going. He kept training, he kept dieting, he kept stepping on stage with the best in the world. But the disease took its toll. His body, as superhuman as it looked, was fragile inside. Eventually, he had to undergo a kidney transplant. Later in life, complications would lead to something few could have imagined, a partial leg amputation. Think about that. The man once praised for his perfect symmetry, for his flawless physique, lost part of a leg. For most people, that would mean the end of everything they ever stood for. But not him. Instead of fading into obscurity, he came back stronger in a different way. He reinvented himself, not as a competitor, but as a symbol of resilience. He showed the world that strength isn't just about muscle size. Strength is about how you respond when life breaks you down. Even with one leg, he still trained. He still spoke. He still inspired. Young athletes, older fans, people struggling with their own health, he became a living example of what it means to never quit. And that's why his legacy is secure. It's not about the titles he won or the titles he didn't win. It's about the man he became through the struggle. So let's look back at the clues. We talked about a childhood of poverty and dyslexia, a start in martial arts, the discovery of bodybuilding that revealed a body with unmatched genetics. For Arnold Classic titles, rivalries with Dorian and Ronnie, the praise of Arnold Schwarzenegger himself, a life-changing battle with kidney disease, a later battle with amputation, and through it all, a legend who inspired millions. If you guessed Flex Wheeler, you're absolutely correct. Known as the Sultan of Symmetry, Flex Wheeler is remembered as one of the most gifted, aesthetic, and inspiring bodybuilders of all time. Flex's story teaches us something bodybuilding can't always show on the surface. The greatest physiques may win trophies, but the greatest people win respect. Flex never won the Olympia, but his name will be remembered forever. And now it's your turn. In the comments, tell me, what's your favorite Flex Wheeler moment? Do you think he should have won the Olympia? And stick around, because in the next episode of our mystery series, we'll take a look at another legend. This man was nicknamed, "Oh, not so fast." Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep training hard, keep learning, and stay inspired.